Hi everybody, this is Suzanne Hiron of Memia Papyrus. This week, let's create this fun card with Woodland Wonder. Let's get started. This week's Fancy Fold card is using one of the cutest stamp sets in the catalog. It's called Woodland Wonder, and this is what happens when you pull it out. So you see all these little critters coming out of the tree. Hip hip hooray for a birthday, and then you have your greeting on the bottom. So kind of a fun surprise when the person gets the card. And on the inside, hope your day stacks up to be one good thing on top of another. So let's get started. I used Granny Apple Green as the card base. So this is a 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. And my other piece is scored at 5 1/4, and it measures 10 1/2. So what I did, I scored at the 5 1/4 because that's the layer, and I didn't score it for the bottom piece because when I did, it just didn't match up. So I want to do it by hand, connect the two corners, and then use my bone folder to score it. Nice crisp fold. There we go. So now let's stamp it. And there's a couple of little tips to this. So the video I watched, the person who started taping it did the stamping as it appears into the set, and that didn't work. It was a stubby tree or it was too long. So I've got some tips here for you that you won't have to experience. You can learn from the mistakes that we have made with this card. So I'm using the Memento ink. And we'll get the top of the tree stamped here. And I'll go about 1/2 inch from the top. There we go, that looks straight. To clean that off. This is a polymer stamp set, which is a really good thing because you really have to line up the trunk of your tree. So it's easiest when you see through the stamp. I'm going to ink it up. Got it going. And I think I'm going to turn this to the side to make sure that I am straight on my card. I'm going to connect the trunk to the first part to have all my little critters coming out. That looks good. Now for the bottom, that's where the trick happens. For the bottom of this, if you just keep going with this stamp, your tree won't be long enough. So what we learned is that if you ink up just a connecting piece, don't ink up the bottom of your stamp, then you're adding an extra length that will be sufficient to extend your tree to the size that you need to have it. So now we can finish it off. And so the reason we're doing this, I'll show you when it's stamped. Is that if you don't extend it, your tree is going to be stubby and just have the grass over here. So now we have it long enough to extend the full length of the card. So next, we're going to add the little bunny. And I want the little bunny to show up on the bottom part of the card when it's folded. So we will stamp him to make sure we see him on the bottom. Like so, just peeking out. There he is. They're all cute. All these little animals are cute. Then we have the hip hip hooray. So we'll start with the bar. And that's on the middle part of your card. See right here. I'm going to ink that up. And I want it to be about here because I want to cover a little boo-boo. So I don't know if it's showing up on the camera, but there's a bit of a smear, very tiny bit of smear, and I want to hide that with my banner. So I'll just line it up. There we have hip hip hooray. You can use up almost all of the stamps in this one image. So there's a little bird there singing. We want some little musical notes around that little bird. Isn't that cute? Then we want the owl to be holding a balloon. So we get the balloon stamp. You have to like coloring with this stamp set though, because there's a lot of coloring to do. And I won't color it all with you because that would take too long. And you're creative, you can choose your colors and make it your own. So what I will do though is I'll just do a little bit of the sky with a blender brush here. I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper and I'm using Seaside Spray. And I'm going to create a sky, soft sky around my tree. Just blending in a bit of blue. I think we're good. So now we are going to stamp the birthday greeting on the bottom. Oh, that's congratulations. Gotta get the happy birthday. Happy birthday. Now there's greeting in there that says from all of us, which is perfect for either a big family or a work group or a class in school. Just so versatile. I'm going to put the happy birthday down here. Am I missing anything? No, just the coloring, I think. So we're good to fold and adhere to the card base. And I am going to use some tear and tape for this card because I know people are going to open and close it many times. It's so cute. They're going to want to open that tree and see it all. So I'm going to use some tear and tape because it's such a strong adhesive that there's no risk of getting that layer off the card. So this should do, and maybe another strip. There we go. I'll just use my nails. Thank you. My trusty demonstrator helper just handed me my take your pick tool. So all you need to do is color it and you've got your front layer done. Now let's do the inside. The inside says, hope your day stacks up to be one good thing on top of another. Take my block and I'm going to use the Granny Apple Green for the greeting. Center it on here. And let's add some balloons to make it festive. So here's my little balloon. Now maybe I'll add just a touch of color to the balloons. This is a bit dark. Let's get something like a yellow. That's cute. Now for the inside, we can use just regular snail or whatever adhesive you prefer. Center it nicely, give it a good press, and we are done. What a cute little card. So have fun coloring this. I used some Granny Apple Green on the leaves. I used some Melon Mambo for the little birds. I used the combo of crumb cake for the tree trunk, some gray granite for the owl, and back with the granny apple green for the grass. So this is the finished product. Hope you enjoyed that card, and I want to thank you for being here. We'll see you again next time.